Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkie with StartUpTrading.com. It is 9 minutes till 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday, January 27th. So, sorry about that. Looking at the week ahead for catalysts, not that we need another catalyst, right? But looking at the major catalysts that are scheduled on the market, most of them are Wednesday, right? We have the FOMC on Wednesday, the press conference from the FOMC on Wednesday. Then Wednesday after the bell, we have Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla. And then Thursday after the bell, we're going to have Apple. And then we are going to hear from the ECB also on Thursday morning, and then we're going to have on inflation print Friday morning. So we have all the catalysts are backloaded, for Wednesday afternoon and after this week. Uh, so let's just leave that there. So we'll just spend a minute reminding us where we were Friday when we left, right? We had pinned 6,100, we had pinned 530 basically into the close. And in the overnight session, right, we got down to 502.35. Uh, so we dropped basically $27.50 on the Qs or on the QQQs. Yep. So for the NQ, that's 1,000 point drop from where we closed on Friday in the overnight session. The ES went down about 150 points in the overnight session. So we don't really care about the structure that we left behind on Friday because we are nowhere near it at this point in time. And as we look at basically, what's transpired in the overnight session, we had untested points of control that we had skipped, right? We had skipped over the point of control from January 8th at 59.50, right? We went back in the overnight session and we basically ticked that. We went down to uh, 59.48, so 2 points under that, and then just bounced up. So until proven otherwise, this is the range going into the FOMC this week, and we'll just have to see how today goes, right? The next untested point of control under that from recent activity and from the current contract that we are on is 58.82 half, right? And then we go back to all the way back to November 5th is the next one at 58.01. Uh, so as we look at the one time framing, again, I posted this just a few minutes ago in the or a little while ago in the trading room chat, but we have basically come back and retested the last swing low. It's actually at 20,677 in the overnight. It was about 100 points off of that or higher at 763. But close enough for government work. We've got back into that last block of the one time framing, uh, coming up, that buy block that we had then. And then, we had topped off. We had a 3 day balance coming into today's session that topped out at 22,075 basically. And then the ES topped back at this 61.65, right? The high was 61.62 quarter, right? So close enough again for government work. We've come back and we've retested the backside of this uptrend channel, and the ES, if you put some fibs on there, it's still basically holding a retracement level on the way up, and it's also come back and rechecked this previous swing that's right around this 59.50 level, right? Again, 47.5 or 48 was the low for the ES. 49.48 was the low for the ES in the overnight session. 59.45 was the last pivot that was in this area. So as we look at what we had it so far in the overnight session, right? 157.25 points, straight down basically until 5:30 this morning, and then just back up into this set of signal prints, and that's going to be our first bogey this morning, right around this 6,005 to 6,013 level in the ES. And as we look at all the indexes, right, we're definitely, potentially a little overdone in the Nasdaq, but don't let that be a reason to buy, right? So again, the title of my videos and DeepSeek takes the cake, right? So uh, we had Open AI was all the rage, all the talk for open the artificial intelligence, and let's face it, it was a piece of shit, right? It's not really all that it's cracked up to be. It's given about a 14 to 18% solution rate on things, so it's nowhere near ready for prime time, and it was extremely expensive to implement. It's just everybody wanted in because it was the next technology, and people were going to spend billions of dollars to implement this shitty platform, basically. And then DeepSeek comes out and says, we got a platform, you can do it for 1/1000th of the cost, right? That's 1/1000th, right? So that's pretty substantial. So all the people that were planning to put money into OpenAI, right? That looks like a dumbass investment now. So they're all getting hit. And any one that was going to buy things from people to implement this crappy technology, right? Their sales are expected to be down, and they're down. So that's where we are right now coming into today. We will see what happens, right? So, of course, any headline, right, that says this uh, DeepSeek isn't all what it's cracked up to be, and it's not, anywhere near on par. But for the cost, I'm guessing it will be. But we'll just have to watch these headlines. So that is more of a headline risk at this point than Trump or the FOMC. How do you like that, Apples? So we'll see what happens today. I'm just going to tread lightly. The only trades I'm going to be taking, even though I like to take profile and positioning, are going to be fib draws today. I'm fib and fib only today. As long as fibs are holding technically, I will take the sequence, and when they're not, I will step aside and watch. So we have some very technical, from the on the way up. I didn't look at the way down because I was asleep. Uh, but on the way up, we will see if those continue to hold it. And when they break, right, look for, structure back down to retest. So that's all I have for today. I think it's going to be an interesting session, and I would tread very lightly. I mean, to be honest with you, uh, you don't really need to be trading more than one micro on anything today, whether you're trading the ES or the NQ. Just get in there with one micro, and then as long as you're holding the sequences, and you don't need to go, your risk doesn't need to be that great. You can take, you can fail just like Jack was last week, failing or scratching minimally multiple times, and still get a runner that makes up for the day on that. So just take the fibs as they are, and we'll talk about what it looks like tomorrow as far as the structure. But consider this day one of DeepSeek, basically. Have a good one. We'll talk to you tomorrow.